And welcome to this 3KQ tutorial on using Conceptboard as a participant. Just pause the video at any time so you can follow the instructions as I go. So you've received an invitation from somebody at 3KQ to an event or a training course, and it's been suggested to you that you should log on in advance and just have a little practice to understand how to use Conceptboard during the event you're attending. This tutorial will just take you about 10 minutes to learn the basics, okay? There's not that much to know, but it's well worth mastering it before you attend your event. The first thing I'll do is just get you logged on. So when you click on the link, okay, that's in the invitation email to the board, if you don't have a Conceptboard account already, then you will get taken to a screen that looks very like this. You can either sign in. So if you have got an account but you're not already logged in, you can just click sign in, and then you just put in your email address, you click next, you put the password in, and then you click access the board, and then you're in. If you don't have an account and you do want to sign up for a free account, only takes 30 seconds and it's well worth it if you're going to be using Conceptboard more than once. You just click this sign up button down here. So I'll just go back and show you again. When you're faced with these two options, if you want to set an account up, you click sign in, but then sign up down at the bottom. Okay, so in fact, let's do that and just show you. It's just 4 boxes, very straightforward: name, email, password, password again, and then you click this little blue box, then you click sign up and it creates an account. Don't worry about spam. You don't get spammed by Conceptboard in my experience, so you can feel quite safe in creating an account. The advantage of doing so is that then your computer remembers you that you logged in last time, and whenever you click a Conceptboard link, it just takes you straight to the board. You don't have any of this faff signing in. Okay, let's go back and back again. If you're attending just a one-off event, then it is probably easy just to sign in as a guest. So just click guest access. And then you can just type your name, then click the little privacy button box, just so they can store your data. As I said, they don't spam you, then access as guest. Then just sit back and give it 5 or 10 seconds just to load the board. You can follow these little tips. There's 4 little tips that come up if you want, or you can just ignore them. Totally up to you. I'm going to run you through the basics. So when you arrive on the board, normally there will be an agenda that 3KQ will have put up there, maybe a welcome area to sign in just to show who's at the event. And there might also be some instructions. I haven't got any here just to create a bit more space on the screen, but that is quite often what we do. So signing in, that's what we've just done. That is tip number 1 complete, except to say that Conceptboard works really, really well on Chrome. It does work well on many other internet browsers, but not all of them. So if you're struggling at all to make it work, give it a go on Chrome, okay? Number 2 and number 3, moving around and zooming in and out. Now these are the absolute basics. If you can master these 2, you will have a useful, interesting, effective, productive event, okay, when you attend it. The other things, they're kind of like icing on the cake, but if you can't move around and you can't zoom in and out, you're really going to struggle to engage with the whiteboard and what other people are posting up there. So first one is moving around. Very simple. You just find some clear space on the board, you click and hold your finger down on the mouse, and then you move it around, okay? You can do this multiple times depending where you want to move it. The only thing to watch out for is if you see when I move the cursor from the white space over to the text, see it changes from a hand where I can move it to a cursor, vertical cursor bar. If I then drag, it tries to highlight the text. That can be a bit confusing, so just make sure you're not over any text and you can move the board around, okay? You can explore for miles. The boards are enormous, okay? So that is moving around, nice and simple. The other one is zooming in and out. Depending on what computer you're on, you can zoom in and out in a variety of ways. Personally, I always recommend people to just scroll their mouse. So if you kind of stroke the mouse downwards, and if you've got a scroll wheel, you pull it downwards, and you see it just goes in and in and in, okay, and gets closer and closer. You'll see I just changed there the setting So you can, it depends. Some computers, it will come up automatically with this option down here, trackpad and keyboard. And that just uses a slightly different system to be able to zoom in and out. So when I scroll on the mouse, it's actually moving me up and down, which isn't very helpful. So if you go back and just tell the computer that you do have a mouse, and then you can zoom in and out. Okay. So that is the way of doing it with the mouse, but you can also use this scale here. You can zoom out on this scale. Okay, every increment I move, it just zooms it out a little bit further, and then I can zoom back in. But also you can move these buttons. Okay, it's just entirely up to you. You work out the way that you're most comfortable using. Okay, it doesn't really matter. It's doing the same thing, just different mechanisms for doing it. So that is moving around and zooming in and out. As I say, they're the basics. You master them, you'll have a good event. But your facilitator may well ask you to do a couple of other things, including number 4, writing a sticky note. Okay, so this is the sticky note button. If you hover over any of these buttons at the top, it tells you what they are and what they do. They're all pretty obvious. I'll talk through these two in a second. All the others are very obvious. Sticky note, you just click it once. It gives you a yellow one as default, so let's just leave that at the moment. You draw a box just by clicking. Let's do that again. So it's on yellow already. You click once, then you draw it, then you release the button, and you see it's put me automatically with a flashing cursor, text cursor in the middle. Then I can just write my name or whatever I'm being asked to write, and then I find some white space and just click off it. And now everyone can see what I've written. If I want to edit, you see there, I just double click in the middle or double click on the text and I can edit. So double click there. I'll just show you this. At the moment, you see the cursor is still flashing there. Other people in the meeting watching this space and concept board will be able to see that you've posted a yellow sticky note up, but they will not yet be able to read the text you've written until you click off it. So now that's kind of uploaded the text, everyone else can read it. If you decide to change your mind, double click the text and you can delete it, okay, or write something else. Worth saying that you will, in nearly all of our events, if you're participating as opposed to facilitating, you won't be able to change other people's material, okay. If you look here, it says that you are a reviewer, not an editor, which means that you can move, edit and amend your own material but not touch or affect anybody else's. It just avoids a lot of complication. Okay, so you'll see if I try moving around now after I've just written a sticky note, so I've been editing a sticky note here that I selected. If I try and move, it now won't let me move round. And it's a bit confusing. You're thinking, hang on, I could move around before, but I can't now. Why, it's stopped working. What it's done, it's moved me from hand mode to select mode. And you'll see this arrow is just slightly grayed, which means it's been selected, okay? Which means when you click on an item, you can edit them, okay? So, but to move around again, you have to click the hand button. So I'll just show you. Now I can't move. Click the hand, now I can move. If I want to edit something again, oh no, I want to change this again, delete that, click back off it, I can't move again, you see, because it's flicked me to the arrow, not the hand. Click back on the hand, and I'm off again. So, in summary on that one, number 5, if you ever find yourself not able to move around the board, then just check you're on the hand mode, moving mode, okay? Number 6, undo. So if you go and do something that you didn't want to do and you just want to undo it, the normal shortcuts work. If you're familiar with shortcuts, Control Z or Command Z on an Apple. Equally, you can just click this button, the undo button, and you see, I think this was the last thing I did. You click that and it just undoes the last change. Final thing is, final but one thing is bookmarking. If you're on a training course or a whole series of events that you're going to want to come back to the board repeatedly, then I would definitely recommend you bookmark the board, and you do that. It's slightly off the top of this screen recording, but it's up here in your in Chrome. There's a bookmarks menu, and there's an option to add bookmark. So bookmarks menu and then add bookmark, and it will just create your bookmark that's called Conceptboard and then the name of the board. So it's there until you don't need it anymore, probably until the project's finished. Just saves time and hassle you trying to find the link in future. Number 8, last but not least, toggling or moving between two applications. So if you have two screens, this isn't relevant, because what I recommend is you move the Conceptboard application onto the screen which does not have your video camera embedded in it, and you leave Teams or Zoom on your screen that does have the video camera. However, if you're listening to me thinking, I don't have two screens, I've only got one, don't worry, that's what I'm going to tell you now. If you've only got one screen, you are going to have to get used to moving between the video conferencing and also Conceptboard on the one screen. Don't worry though, it's nice and easy. Basically, we're on Conceptboard, so that's being run by Chrome, and down at the bottom, if you go to the bottom, you'll have a menu. So if you're on a PC, this menu will be here anyway. If you're on a Mac, you might have it set up to disappear and then only appear when your cursor goes to the bottom. So you can see the Teams logo is here and the Zoom logo is here. Sorry, I think on the screen recording they're just slightly cut off on the recording, but there's enough there for you to see what's going on. Teams menu and also the Zoom menu there. So you just toggle on that. I won't do it because I haven't got either of these two running, but you click on them and it takes you to the video platform, and when you're in the video platform you click on the Chrome one, which looks like this down here. Okay, and that's it. I would recommend you spend 5 or 10 minutes with a cup of tea or coffee just practicing these things. Watch this video, keep pausing it while you take yourself through, click on the actual link that you've been sent so that you can practice it with these instructions running. And on that note, I'll leave you to it, and all I'll say is test it, trial it, and good luck with it.